fantastically together. We've got some players jumping in now, joining us. We got Cadus, we got yeah.
Hi. I think Merlin would like to join as well, but he's currently in the wrong channel because he wanted to listen, I think.
All right. Well, I'm sure that John can drag him in here if that's all right, John.
Yeah, joined by we got Stark, we got Mirlin here as well.
It's by the way, it's not BFF, it's Zebus plus Marlin carrying.
Oh, right. The old name, of course. So, so that's who we're joined by. I'm sure we've got the lovely overlay up. So first of all, congrats to BFF, pulling out a 5-0, 5-0. I'm still just scanning this this log here. One thing I notice, we don't have Clockwork here with us, but we've got Stark. My goodness, Stark and Clockwork. What a hell of a night you guys had. How do you feel, Stark? You were top fragger on that Gully Wash map.
All I did was just shoot low people in cap, which is why I never died. If you look at how much damage I took, I was never really in the fight because I didn't need to be. And just clean up afterwards.
Do you feel like that was in part due to the Clockwork scout pair, or was that due to the rest of your team making space? What do you attribute that to?
Stark always plays like a massive pussy. Nothing new here.
Is he Permzilla Mark II?
Who's that aggro scout who constantly has the least deaths on the server?
Well, I just spent the entire time capping because they seem very disorganized, so the slightest bit of aggression and we just either kill them all or they'd have to fall out.
Yeah, it seemed like in a lot of the raw DM situations, like after Ubers or even during Ubers, or sometimes when you just dry push in, you really had the advantage and wiped them almost every time. Even when they managed to pick Merlin, when you would suddenly all go aggressive, you still destroyed them every time.
Did you see the bit where Merlin accidentally popped on second?
Yes,
talk about that.
Let's get that from the horse's mouth. Merlin, what happened?
Well, when you have Uber, you always you're always afraid to press the button, and I am I always want to press it, I want to press it, but I know I can't press it. So I'm just touching slightly the button, with my fingers slightly touching, and I know, oh no, I want to press it, but I can't press it.
Did Rocket notice that we used it?
No, I don't think so.
You had no fucking idea.
Yeah,
no.
They had a 50%. Well, no, they had a full advantage. But by the time you actually went into force and you were really close in Riverside, they had a 50% advantage and had no intention of pushing out. They just didn't realize at all. The Twitch chat was going crazy.
Oh yeah, I'm wondering if we can make a soundboard of Merlin and get that line of "You always want to press the button, but you can't." Let's talk to the medics about sticking with Gully. A lot of switches off to crits there, and some failed crits and some successful ones. Let's get ads in here. We've got Admirable with us.
Hi.
Tell me about the brain of an Admirable during that Gully Wash map.
In terms of crits, Krieg, I don't know. I think I only ever went it whenever we would have had an advantage, or it wasn't really too much thought put into it. It was just I'm going to spawn slightly earlier here. I'm going to run crits Krieg and see what happens. We needed to try and make something happen or change the run of the game, but it didn't work for us.
How do you keep your finger from slipping on the right mouse button?
You never have Uber, so it doesn't matter.
I avoid getting charged at all costs. I prefer to drop people rather than Uber early. That's my plan.
The tactic is just take your hand off the mouse. That way you'll
exactly.
So the BFF, sorry, not the BFF, the Rocket people that we've got in here, Admirable and War. After this 5-0, 5-0, I assume you weren't expecting to get rolled so hard. I know that you were going into this as slightly the underdogs, but I know in the fully charged, you had said that it would be disappointing if you couldn't put up a fairly close game against BFF. How do you feel coming out of that and it being a 5-0, 5-0?
Well, if you just upload VOD of just mid fights, it looks really close.
Yeah.
So if you just leave that, then I'll be happy. But yeah, it was just, I don't know, we knew we could do well, but maybe, I don't know, we don't really have many excuses. We just played really, really shit. I think we didn't really prepare for this match as much as we should have, which is just on us, which is our mistakes. We're fucking stupid. Like, we've just been playing Turbine and Badlands for the past few days, and that's pretty much all we've been playing. And like, we knew Gully Wash was going to be a shit map. We knew we might stand a chance on Granary, but for some reason we decided to not fucking practice it because, again, probably just idiots. But yeah, well, I think we were expecting to do well, and we were hoping that we would do well, but at the end of the day, we just got fucking outgamed. Like, whenever, like, we were doing well at middles because we're forced to fight 6v6 on equal ground as you're going in, but as soon as it came anything that required even like an inch of team play, we just turned into dribbling idiots.
Yeah, me and Sideshow talked about that a little bit, not in those words, but you guys are still, learning to play with one another as a team. Is that a factor at all? We didn't have your team comms to listen in, but how are you guys gelling together?
It's alright. It was like, I don't know, people mentioned it, but a week and a half ago we lost about 12 PCWs in a row. Like, we didn't win any game at all until we played on the day we played GG Well Played. Like, we played a good Div 1, well, a few Div 1, Div 2 teams, and maybe took like games off them, but against top tier teams we hadn't won, I don't think. Yeah, it's slowly getting there. I mean, they obviously do have an edge because most of their players have been playing for quite a while, and they've had a little bit of a head start, but it's still no excuse. We've been playing for like 2 weeks now, and as you obviously watched the game, anything outside of the mid fight, it was like watching a Prem team fight a Div 4 team. Like, we just had no clue. We're all doing stupid mistakes, yeah, and just we're just being idiots in general. Like, all the crits players in Granary, if you saw, were like, we had crits and everything, but we just let them come into our face. So when we did use it, we were like on the back foot. Most of us were weak. We were never in a position to use it, and it was just the whole thing, pretty much.
Yeah, I think Sideshow and I both saw good individual performances out of pretty much everyone on Rocket, but just in terms of team play, I think that's what was lacking. I think that's where BFF really nailed you guys.
They have a really, really good combo, probably like the best combo in EUTF2, Miralin and Zebo. Like, the thing is that if we just let them do whatever they want, we're just going to get crushed, and that was it. Like, even if we did kill like a few of their players, they had like a still a rock solid combo to just fall back on. Yet with us, we don't have like a good combo duo at the moment because how I play, how Hox used to play. Yeah, it's just mainly clash of play styles and stuff. But I mean, in PCWs we do well, but they're just PCWs, and I think I don't know, maybe the maps were playing a factor because we were terrible at them, but we shouldn't have been this dire.
Oh, that was just awful.
So yeah, I'd like to ask a question that is coming out from all the thoroughly annoying NA fanboys in the Twitch chat. How much of a difference did Clockwork make?
I didn't really notice anything. Stark was more of a bigger player than he was, I think. Like, Clockwork just sort of appeared around the corner when we were weak. I think it was Stark that was just sort of in the better positions to take a better effect on us. And it might have been just because he had not a big ping, but he had slightly higher ping than he's probably used to. But I didn't think it was anything incredible. I think Stark was the better player than he was.
Really? Yeah, let's ask Cadis what he thinks, because Cadis, I think you were probably the one that got him in. Would I be wrong in saying that?
No, yeah, I got him. I don't know what exactly am I being asked. How big an impact did he make?
Yeah, how big an impact do you think that Clockwork made over using someone like Flip or even Ips that you were using in the PCW beforehand?
Well, obviously, he was more useful than Ips. Like, Ips did a good job for us in the PCW, while Clockwork took care of some business. Comparing him to Flip, though, like, they're completely different players. Like, we just kind of made the best of a bad situation. We couldn't really get anyone that was in the Flip mold, so we just had to go for someone else. And like, Clockwork does his thing. Like I just said to him, like, there's no point trying to make him do what Flip does. So we'd had some like a lot more messy mids than we're used to, because normally we have this really stable scout who knows his job like really well, like playing with me. So like, there was some drawbacks to it, but obviously like his talent just like rung through. Like,
do you guys know if? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I've used him like historically. I used Clockwork as a merc quite a lot. Like, he was MIG's backup last season, so Like, I'm quite familiar playing with him, and I think he's good today. But he's definitely like shone more in the past, I guess. But I think today he was celebrating Memorial Day yesterday, so I think he was a bit
I'm not saying he's
hungover.
shit, by the way. I'm not saying that he's bad and he's not going to be good. He'd probably be sick.
No, I thought he did excellent, to be honest. Just he was like I don't know, 4th gear, and he has a 5th gear, but he didn't need it today.
Yeah, I was watching him, especially on Granary. He seemed to be destroying, and then on Gullywash, he was slightly overshadowed by Stark. But I mean, even when it's 5-0, you're expecting the scouts to be getting those kills and the cleanup frags. And
well, that's what makes Clockwork so amazing. Normally, is when it's like when your team is down and you need a big moment, he'll show up time and time again with these big moments, and we didn't need him today. So it's kind of hard for like any one player to have shone that much today, because it was like just comfortable the whole way.
Yeah, we saw good stuff out of everyone on your roster. I wanted to ask about Flip. Like, do you guys know, is he going to be having these internet problems going forward? Is it something he can fix, or can we expect to see more mercs as the season goes on? Do you guys know?
No, it's a temporary thing. His internet broke, basically. I'm not sure exactly what's wrong with it. Whenever I speak to him, he just says, getting a new box soon. I assume it means modem or router or something like that. He said, getting my new box tomorrow or the 30. So, soon
Or
I
the
hope.
30.
Yeah,
we heard he had his internet on some Coca-Cola ducklings. That was the word at the start of the...
I don't know where he is. Like, it's hard because like the only thing I've heard from him until today came through tech. So when you have Flip's English, well, Flip and then tech combining, speaking English, it gets a bit confusing.
Yeah.
So I'm
it's
not
like
quite
through
sure.
Google Translate twice.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what his situation is, but I understand he will be back before our next match. So.
All right, that's good. It'll be nice seeing you guys with a full complement to take on your next challenge, which is probably going to be Epsilon. I guess you've taken. I don't expect you to be stumbling against anybody else in the league so far after destroying Rocket like that, and your PCW results against everybody else. So, but Rocket again, where do you think that you'll be ending up in this season? Do you think playoffs are a possibility?
Yeah. Like,
definitely.
Every single week we sort of get a little bit less retarded. So as long as we keep on becoming smarter gamers at this rate, we'll eventually be the best. But wow. I don't know. I think we'll finish in playoff spots. I'm pretty confident we will. It's just whether or not, when it comes to playoffs and we have to play against the top teams again to see if we can actually play properly, if we're just going to roll over and just take it.
And who are you both expecting to finish in the 3rd or 4th, other than Rocket?
Phoenix.
Or GG well played, depending on if they actually decide to take TF2 a little bit seriously.
I don't think they've got it.
Or Epsilon, actually.
We'll be playing GG well played for the 4th spot.
You may not have caught the little fragment of gossip that I dropped in the middle of the maps there.
This has been cut.
Yes, this has been cut, and Mike's going on to Demo Man.
Ah, sick.
Blame it on the shoulder. Maybe.
Who's going to be their Solly instead?
I believe they're trialing some different people, but I think they've got a name in mind, but they still have to work it out because he's busy.
Who's Gear coming back?
No, not Gear coming back.
Do you know why they cut his?
Yeah, they weren't happy with his performance.
That seems a bit unfair.
Wait a sec, I've got a chat log, I'll put it in Mumble.
I heard that he was shit-talking someone.
Yeah, he said Bash wasn't up to the cut since last season.
Interesting.
Could be true.
So it's not because they kept getting whomped by BFF and PCWs?
And also,
that's another theory.
And that they got Raymond, who is incapable of positioning himself.
Wow.
The call-outs from Stark.
Yeah, there you go.
The toxic, cancerous gamer.
No, it's just like basically we won Epsilon 2 times in a row on PCW, and that's why they decided to kick highs. Like, we lose, we kick players and get somebody else.
Tamilin says it was because of BFF, so there you go.
It's obviously because they listen intently to Fully Charged.
Fully Charged, yeah.
That's why. Obviously the reason why he's been cut. We're just planting the seed in Nox's head. He's just put 2 and 2 together.
War, I've got a question for you. Would you leave Rocket if they offered you a demo man spot?
No. Like, as much as, yeah, we get Shatland sometimes, definitely not this season, because I like playing...
please, will you leave Rocket?
Oh, okay.
He's not asking you, he's telling you.
Okay. Yeah.
Jokes me.
Yes.
Well, I want to congratulate Admirable, who predicted 5-0, 5-0 today to me prior to the match this evening. He didn't say what team it was for.
Nah, I didn't even realise the scoreline until the end of the match. You know, it was like, obviously it was probably like a lot different from your perspective, but I always felt like we were in the game and we had plenty of opportunities, or just our terrible execution.
I agree with that too.
Yeah,
me and Sideshow saw that as well, yeah.
Hey, it doesn't feel like we've just been 5-0'd, 5-0'd.
Nope.
It just feels like we played a very, 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 very short game.
Yep.
Tier 2.
Even the granary, which lasted 20 minutes, I'm not quite sure how long Gully Wash lasted, but I think it was a little bit longer than that. It didn't feel like such a roll, even though it only lasted 20 minutes. It felt like you had some opportunities to push out.
It's
you
just
had to make
because
exchanges.
of, like, the mid-fights is pretty much it. Like, we're good enough as a team to be organised on one capture point of the map, but as soon as we have to sort of position ourselves on our own, that's it. Everything sort of crumbles, and that's why we can't sort of do it so well. Like, as I said, on mid, you have a position because you're forced to be in that position when you arrive to mid. When you push in second, you have to get into that position yourself with your team. You have to coordinate, and that's why we lost and they won, because their teamwork is better, and the coordination is just a lot better.
There you go.
And are we going to see a better Rocket as we go into the next fixtures?
Everybody seems to be on holiday for the next 2 to 3 weeks, so I highly doubt it.
But you're still confident of that playoff spot?
Well, we've got to play Saints. I mean, come on. Like this, we've got Epsilon, I think, next, and then the rest are like Laser Pandas, Saints, 425, and Fenix. So we've got the teams that we could win against. So yeah, possibly we can still get playoffs.
Are you saying Saints aren't that strong?
I think they have an outside chance of getting into playoffs. However, I reckon we can still pip them to it.
I think that would be incredibly optimistic to say they have an outside chance of getting into the playoffs.
Well, they've recruited Bar. So
oh, goodness. Well, that's it. That's it.
The shuffle's already happening. But no, I just don't. They're not really decent enough.
Well, do we have anything else, Sideshow?
I don't think so. Just remains to congratulate BFF on a 5-0, 5-0 destruction of Rocket. And
that objective.
And we hope to see you and possibly cast some of your future games and see how you fare in the rest of the season.
Yeah, we want to thank everyone for joining us this evening on teamfortress.tv, and check out the YouTube, and make sure to follow us all season long for coverage all the way through the season and into playoffs.
Can I make a shout out?
Oh, and we have one last shout out from Maryland.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm giving a shout out to Sony Black, Sony Schwartz, because he's really good boy and helping me a lot in the home tasks. German home tasks, yeah, exactly. And giving the shout outs to all other fanboys of mine. And I'm sorry that I'm not going to mention you all. I don't have much time left. And the last thing, Semzi is a scrap. Yeah.
A strap.
Well,
scrap.
He's a strap.
Oh.
Well,
Scrap.
He's a scrub. So there you have it. Words out of Maryland. So I've been Getawhale. He has been Sideshow. Jon has been doing all the other stuff. Thanks for joining us, and good night.